my preamble is, did you watch the latest and greatest Bleach episode?
Of course I did. It was very much felt very recappy, which sucks because Bleach episodes are not really long. I mean, I understand the recap, but
I really don't, because it's a streaming service now. If you wanted to recap, you would pull up the previous episode.
yeah, and that's why I think it was a little bit of a waste. I was like, okay. Like I didn't even when I was watching it, I was like, okay, well, I'm like, all right, recap. You get to see Yuha sit here say he opened up his eyes and he explicitly showed Uryu's shrift, because I think in the manga, from what I remember, it wasn't explicitly implied that he used his shrift. I think Yuha actually just straight up revived them all through the Ashwayland.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure in manga, you watch just revives everyone straight up. And then the first instance of using his shrift is against the battle against Hashwolds.
Yeah, that's when he uses it. He did use it, I guess. Well, at least we know now that that's how they got in through the cage. I guess is through Uryu's shrift, that little coin toss, or how Yuha got
Yeah.
out.
I just thought it was kind of weird that they like really emphasized like the Quincy veins during him activating his shrift, but like that wasn't present at all
Yeah,
earlier.
I don't know what that. I don't know if that was just him having like
Like
advanced blood vein,
having to supercharge it for something that big, or what?
because like there's no really real reason to show that Uryu's shrift is activating, because it's just antithesis. So it's more of like honestly, I'd even call it a reality controlling effect, type of hack ability. Um, Same thing with Yuha. Like you don't show him with his almighty. Like you just know it's activated because you see all his eyeballs in his eye.
Yeah, I did like the visual representation. You watch just basically teleporting away from all of Ichibe's attacks.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good way to represent and demonstrate it for those who are like first getting introduced to ability in the anime.
I'm really curious how, like, if someone has never seen, like, 1,000 Year Blood work, what their reaction is to why Yuha was able to overcome, Ichibe's Bankai and just attacks in general. Because if you really just watch it without the knowledge of Almighty, it really looks like he just says, "Because I'm Yuha."
Yeah, and that's why I gained my understanding of your watch from other people talking about, because this material you're given up front when he first uses it just doesn't like quantify it really. It's just like tells you like a parent telling a kid because I said so, and then like walking away.
That's literally how it is, because I said so.
You're like, but why though? And then he's already fucking gone.
And he's like, "Because I am."
Now, the grave stuff with Ichibe, is that new? Or is that
Where he came
the
back to
anime
life.
stuff? No, not the when he
Or
came back to life. When he was trying to pick Iwachi's grave for him. Was that in the manga? Because I don't really remember it. And I read all the things that hadn't been animated yet, like a week or so ago. And I don't remember the graves in the Shinigami thing. The ritual, that has to be new, right?
yeah,
I don't
I
remember
think
a ritual.
they were during the fight with Ichibe. Is honestly, he just goes his Bankai. You see his massive like shrine in the background. He does all that, and he's like, "Ha, you like you fool! You think you can beat me? I'm Ichibe." And then he's like, "Yes, I can." Wow, and he
Could
basically
you imagine being you watch like this fat guy with sandals just singing to himself for like a minute?
that was
And
new.
you're
That
just
was
like,
new. That was 100% new. I was like, "Oh, we're going." I was like, "We're going to musical theme now."
he's just like thinking like, man, I'm gonna one shot you in like a minute here, but I'm gonna let you have your moment.
He literally let him sing it all out too. Like, and then he finishes the line. I was like, damn, Ichibe's about to just get absolutely offed here. And it was definitely very late.
Yeah, and then I was really happy about getting an end credit scene. I didn't know we were gonna start with end credit scenes.
I'm glad they did.
I think it'd probably been better if it wasn't an end credit scene, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I was actually kind of happy they dropped that, because I seen that was going on Twitter. They were curious how they're going to handle these upcoming episodes with Ichigo, because like in the manga, like Ichigo just like they make it seem like,
They need to extend the fight a
yeah,
bit.
like because in the manga there ain't nothing really and the only thing that happens here is Yuha's just like, haha, idiot, you freaking killed Soul King for me, and then that's about it.
Yeah, I definitely reread it. It just felt really, really rushed in the manga. Like the important story beats happen, but like nothing else. And we need like a representation of Ichigo's power level with his new swords. We
Mm-hmm.
did have that extended scene with the Bambis, which
Mm-hmm.
like helped, but more so felt like they were trying to demonstrate their powers instead of Ichigo. It kind of made Ichigo feel less threatening.
I mean, yeah, Ichigo. I mean, what I liked about that scene is we got Ichigo doing something, and he just looked completely lost at them. Like the Bambi's like, "Yeah, look at us activating our shrifts and all that," and Ichigo's like, "Wow, you girls are really weak."
He's like, "You're out of my league."
Like he's like speed blitzing them and all that, and that's good. But now we need like
We need a power feat or
a
something.
power feat of something, especially against the
I want a power feat, or I want his fucking sword ability explained. I
because
want
he
one of
technically
those two
fights
things.
Askin and he gets bodied by
Bro, that
Askin.
he
Like
does not
that's
get bodied by Askin. He gets turned into a fucking carpet, bro.
I
It is
know
the
it's
funniest thing I've
like
ever
I'm
seen.
like, dude, what? It's like, and that's what I hate that because people use that and like, see, Ichigo's just idiot, like it's stupid. I'm like, oh my
I mean, yeah,
god.
he's strong as shit, but he still has bad matchups.
Oh
Just
yeah,
and on a similar vein, Kenpachi cut through space in a meteor meant to destroy Sarite, and then he gets absolutely destroyed by Pernida.
yeah, oh yeah.
But no one makes fun of Kenpachi for getting destroyed by Pernida.
Because he goes Bankai.
Yeah, because Kenpachi gets a glow up after that. Ichigo doesn't really. It's like everything happening around him gives him the tools to win. It doesn't necessarily feel like Ichigo's agency leads to his victory later in the series.
No, it doesn't. That's one I really hope if they're gonna go Silver Arrow, I just really hope they just do it better. That's all I'm saying.
I thought of this today.
Hmm.
I was thinking Uryu needs to be around during that final fight, and they hyped up Uryu by saying like Uryu's power in some way has to supersede your watches for him to not die to Ash
Hmm.
Wallen while being like half Quincy because Katagiri. And
Hmm.
what if somehow, some way, Uryu like shot himself with the silver arrow and used antithesis and gave it to your watch? Because the thing is, if your watch is all seeing, how the hell does he get hit by it? Doesn't make sense.
Because they said in the moment, because Aizen, the idea is that Aizen's Shikai, maybe Bankai, but Aizen's Shikai literally got him all messed up in his head in that one moment to where he could not see all the futures because Aizen's like hypnosis was that much. It confused every timeline. That's the theory, by the way.
I've also heard people say that was his Bankai because, like, maybe Aizen's Bankai is the ability to create illusion, like the perfect illusion for a person. So it's not something he controls, it's something that, like, your own darkest nightmare comes to life, but it's a hallucination instead, or something like that.
Yeah.
And like that would make sense, but there's no way Aizen would use a Bankai and then Kubo wouldn't use the word.
Yeah, he would have at least that's a panel. That's a sick panel if he were just sit there and say, "Now you'll know why I'm like the king. I am above all of everything." He goes,
Welcome to my soul society.
"Bankai." I hope they do something like that, but which they are really teasing Aizen more than they did the manga. Like they're really throwing it in there.
They probably are gonna do something big. I will say, I'm glad Ryu killed Senjumaru. I figured that's how they're gonna get out of her Bankai, but it's just nice to see him get some quantifiable power because most of the series pairs Ryu as a power equivalent to Ichigo.
Hmm.
Don't get to see it at all for so long.
Yeah, no, we just see him and Hashwalk going saying, "Haha, counter."
The last time Ichigo and Uryu seemed like parallel strength was when Ichigo defeated two captains in Soul Society and Uryu defeated a captain in Soul Society. And the Spada arc, like Uryu's only win is like surviving long enough for Mayuri to win the fight for him.
But it's nice to see that he is getting like a power up just general. So he's, you see all these Quincy's and all their abilities they have. You now can like reasonably look at Uryu and be like, oh yeah, he has, Blood Vein. He his power is literally tripled or quadrupled now that he's part of the Shootstoffel. So one thing I'm pretty excited about. So they're really teasing as if they're gonna do an Ichigo versus Uryu fight. So
I thought it was going to be like before Uryu went to the Soul Palace,
I don't know about you. I think Uryu absolutely stomps that fight.
like Uryu versus Ichigo.
Yeah, that's an Uru stomp if you really think about Uru. Like Uru's shrift is pretty busted. Like it's busted.
Pretty much the only counter to it is to outright kill someone. Ichigo would not do that to Uryu.
Yeah, Ichigo's not gonna do that. Ichigo's not looking at Uryu and thinking, "Oh yeah, it's over, Anakin." Like, it's not Obi-Wan versus Anakin thing. Like, he knows Uryu's doing it for a reason, and he can't pull a "I'm gonna break every bone in your body" like Naruto versus Sasuke. You're not doing that. I'm pretty sure Ichigo's just gonna get stomped.
It's probably just going to be a really even fight, and then some magic voodoo shit interrupts it. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was Senjumaru's Bonkai. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like a foreshadow of how everyone will die.
Yeah, that's what the shtick I got from it.
Thing that I don't get is what the hell does the gold represent for Askin? The gold spikes? Like, what is that supposed to be? Because unless they change that fight where like he's dying to a Shihoan like royal artifact, I don't know what that is.
This is for Askin.
Yeah.
Maybe Askin's whole thing is death, right? The death dealing, and that, I guess that whole, I took that as like one of the, it's a, what's it called, the death coffin, or what's the,
It looks like an Egyptian death coffin, yeah.
yeah. So that's how I was viewing that, and maybe that's just showing that his death is imminent. Hashwall was interesting because his showed fire, which is called back to Basby.
Yeah, do you think they're gonna change his death to Baz?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I think they should have a better fight.
That fight was just fucking weird.
Kind of lame, and the backstory is really good. So I hope they go into the backstory a little bit more.
The backstory is so good, but the fight itself, it just felt, it wasn't even like one sided to the point of being uninteresting. It was just like, as soon as you're like, okay, the fight started, it's like done. The other thing that's weird is Uryu's blanket stuff seems to be referencing Ash Wallen, and I think the hollows are meant to poke at his grandfather dying to a hollow, but that doesn't foreshadow Uryu's death at all.
Maybe it's trying to show inner conflict with the Soul Society. At least that's my idea behind it. I didn't really get it too much. I thought she was just kind of trolling him.
Yeah, I better have like a big epiphany moment by the end of this batch of episodes, or like all of the Thousand Year Blood War.
Maybe they're trying to say Uryu double agent arc doesn't actually develop. Maybe he actually was just being loyal to the Quincy's. They're saying otherwise because they did show a scene where he did meet whatever his dad's name is.
Ryukin.
Yeah, Ryukin. He shows that he went into his room, I think, and studied about the Quincy's and U-Haul. That was some foreshadowing, I guess.
There has to be a bunch of added information about Ryukin and Soken Ishida's past, because they knew about this whole Quincy society thing, but they're like apart from it, and we don't even understand why.
Story with like U-Haul and how he's doing like the prophecy thing. That's another thing. He got his powers early, I guess, from what I was understanding. 9,000 years it'll take to reform his body, and then 900 days, and something like that. They said he skipped like the 9 years to get his full powers to develop. I don't really understand how his stuff just opened early.
I think that the wording's like mistranslated, because my impression was that there was some sort of seal on his eyes being opened. In the past, Ichibei like stole his name and said something like, "You can never be this again until you die." And then you watch dying was like a mistake on Ichibei's part because it helped him unlock the rest of his power.
Yeah, that's how I thought it was.
So I don't really understand the anime wording at all.
Yeah, Anime's like, ooh, he unlocked his powers early because he seen like how weak everyone still was, despite him not having his full power. Basically, how they were saying it. And I was like, okay,
I don't think I have anything else to talk about that first episode, though.
covered the most part of it.
The opening visuals were fire. I don't know if I love the song yet. But
Oh yeah, I have like it's a hot take on the song. A lot of people like it on Twitter. I'm one of the few people that's like, eh.
I actually really liked the second opening for the Thousand Year Blood War, and I think most people hated that.
Oh, I thought it was good. I liked it.